Good evening, folks. Red County, Blue Nation, Westcliffe, Colorado, great state of America, or the great country of America, I should say. The great state of Americans. All is well. Jimmy will be here in a couple minutes. He's taking care of a little errand. Guess we're happy that we got a little snow and a little rain this week. Kind of can't seem to keep the wind from blowing, but it is what it is. Guess we were going to talk some about what's going on still with the PFAS stuff. Another things came to light about paper mills and what's like the pulp that they make paper from, or the best I can tell that there's some kind of offall from that manufacturing of these paper plants. And so they're spreading that out on the field like with fertilizer as well. And of course it's loaded with PFAS chemicals, so they're calling it a super fund. And the best I can tell is they're trying to eliminate, or I shouldn't say eliminate, but take out of service this ground that's polluted with these chemicals. So it yeah, it's going on everywhere, folks. I mean, it's I've said it before and I'll say it again and I'll say it again for like 10 more times. This PFAS stuff is just the beginning. Jimmy, what's up, my man?
Oh, another day in the jungle. I had no idea it was already that time. Where does time go?
Well, I guess when you're getting stuff done, you're not looking at your watch.
Not really. I know this cheese is hitting the spot.
Good.
I had to have something to eat.
Yeah, man.
So how's your day going? What's going on?
Oh, I'm kinked up pretty good, but whatever.
Yeah, I know the feeling. So yeah, so we're PFASing?
Yeah, I just told him a little bit about what's already going with with these paper mills, and I mean, it's just the tip of the iceberg. Everybody's all alarmed. Oh, God, yeah, well, yeah. Like, you heard it, you're going to hear it, and you'll never stop hearing it, folks. The PFAS chemicals are everywhere.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's
everywhere.
The awareness at the federal level of the EPA allowing this craziness to take place, because that's where people get their trust.
Well,
public trust.
DuPont and 3M told the EPA 20 years ago that we're going to have problems here. No, we're too busy funneling money from the American people. We don't really care.
Yeah, no, that's not in the plan. We got to keep the money coming in, and death is part of that. Big pharmaceuticals, cradle to grave mentality. That's the structure of the culture that we live in. I mean, we try not to participate in it too much, but.
Yeah, I mean, this thing here is, the pharmaceutical thing, that's a huge thing, but this is reaching every man, woman, and child, whether they realize or like it or not.
Absolutely.
You can kind of try to stay away from pharmaceuticals. I have basically, when I had my shoulder worked on and my knee or whatever, but I don't even take ibuprofen. I don't
either.
I'm not a pill guy, right?
I'm not a pill guy either. I'll do a little aspirin now and then.
I don't
but
even do
very
that.
Few and far, and that's because my wife's on me. Hey, you gotta take something. Oh, okay. And I'm taking the aspirin and
hammer to the head.
Yeah,
that's
no
about
doubt.
what I'm thinking.
No, hard work and good hope, and just keep going. But minimize. Once you're aware of something, there's no reason not to take action to minimize it. Cast iron pot, get rid of the Teflon stuff, get rid of some of the toxicity that's around you.
Well, and we've talked about that before. I think that's been going on a long time with the cookware, right? The cookware.
Oh my.
I mean, people have known about the cookware for like 10 years or longer. They've been telling you that these Teflon pans and all this stuff, that coating's coming off. And I mean, that didn't just start like with the sludge deal, right? People's known a while about the pans, but it's the other 12,000 chemicals that are all up and down threaded through our existence.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the cast iron pan is a big one, and that's an easy one. Or
Small example.
One example.
Yeah. Small one example. But
I mean, it's so. I really haven't had time to. I mean, I can't list off all of the. But if there's 12,000 different, I've heard anywhere from 9,000 to 15,000 different chemicals in that one family of the fluorocarbons.
yeah.
So I mean, why are you going to make that many different chemicals unless you have a use for it or you can make money off of it? Otherwise, if they wasn't making money, they wouldn't be making it. So I mean, they're using it for something to make money off of, or they wouldn't be doing it. So I mean, it's a lot of different chemicals.
Yeah. No doubt about it. So anyways, yeah, something to be thinking about. But we're going to get some new ponds put in. So if we could minimize, right, we're going to clean it all up and start over fresh.
Well,
with the new and improved.
I mean, they ain't going to be able to suck it all out, so you're still going to have some. And I mean, it's such a low. I mean, don't get me wrong, every little bit helps, but it's such a small concentration that's lethal. I mean, and we all know that it's not a global initiative, and it, to include poor people, right?
No, I mean that here again, we got to be thinking of ourselves.
There's so many people that are so poor and on the low end of the stick. They have no idea what's going on, and they'll be the last to know.
Yeah.
And all the while their kids are eating it, and they've ate it, and it's a vicious cycle.
Mm-hmm.
But anyhow, well, so how's projects this week?
Steady as she goes. There's a bunch of them. Yeah, it's all good.
You getting some of them done?
Oh, they're not going to get done, but they're just advancing. It'd be all. Well, the one is probably another month.
Another month? Holy smokes. That's a long project.
Well, it's probably 4 months between polished before it's done. And the other one's probably that far away too. But when you're talking excavation, underground plumbing, in-floor heat, 6610, concrete, framing, electrical, roofing, windows. I mean, it just doesn't kapow. It's just stages. And then you got to deal with the weather. Weather's another thing, but we're getting into where we got some fairly decent weather. As kind of a farmer guy, you like to get rained out. When you're doing construction, bring the rain.
I'm the same as I always was. I always thought a guy needed to set up a big wind farm around here.
The wind here is not.
It's been perfect last few days. Just constant, 20, 25, 30 mile an hour, just constant.
I remember Tyler Stein. They did a deal down here because we thought we were going to catch the whole world on fire with the wind down here. They came down and measured it and said it's too violent of a wind.
Yeah, well, whatever.
But at the end of the day, I think they're coming up with different.
I ain't listening to what them idiots say.
Different wind. Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. It is what it is. I don't know. I know people have put wind generators up, and they've been destroyed.
Well, that's
completely destroyed.
That's why the big ones got them huge brakes on them.
Yeah.
There's way more horsepower in the wind than they'll turn.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's nothing new to me. I'm a windmill guy, man. Tell me about it.
the steel windmill pumping the water.
Yeah. Tell me about how violent the wind is.
How tall are those? 40? 60?
30, 35.
Oh, yeah. So these are 90. They're way up there. So, I don't know. There must be a little bit of difference. Otherwise, they'd be crowding this place out already, you know. Well, let's do this. But I don't think it hits the scale. I don't think this is part of that.
I'm pretty sure nobody's, I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I know the Panhandle of Oklahoma's got a bunch of them.
Shit, all you got to do is get off the hill. Hell, they're all around Walsenburg. And
Everywhere.
they're everywhere.
Yeah. It's another good idea, but it's by the time you look at all of what goes into it, it's negative.
I was just saying.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know what I did see this morning? Largest suspension bridge in the world in China.
In China.
But they're building all these data service centers
Oh, yeah.
because the cool wind in these huge valleys, they can cool them huge data centers for free.
Got it.
Just saying.
Because it's taken massive amount of water to cool them data centers. Massive.
It's all about.
Even the coolers for Wells Fargo Bank.
It all depends on what your setup is. That's what it all boils down to. You can make it about as inefficient as you want, and then cry and bitch and moan all day and all night. It's nobody's fault but your own.
Right.
But yeah, I'm just saying. The wind is relentless.
It is. Yeah. And like you're saying, we're probably going to be going into a pretty good drought with snowpack.
I've heard a lot of people say, or I was just talking to a gentleman this morning, he said, well, all the ponds I see they're full. I said, boy, the 2 ponds I got are empty. I don't know. Suppose it's all about the location in the groundwater where you're at.
Yeah.
But yeah, that pond that we got there by the house, by the old man's house, hell, that's maybe 1.5 feet, 2 foot deep. And it's only probably 10 foot around. It's same as dry.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty good indicator. But yeah. So yeah, the other funny thing that was taking place around here was Main Street was shut down for about an hour the other day. They'd pulled over, a guy was speeding, doing like 10 over, right there on Main Street. Anyways, they pulled him over at Chappie's. And said, yeah, driver's license and insurance and la-di-da-di-da. And I guess the guy really got irate. And the deputy's got all the body cam and stuff on it. If we get a chance, we'll show it. Anyhow, he's the guy that got pulled over threw a heck of a ruckus. So the deputy called 2 more deputies, whoever could show up to kind of witness what was going on at least. And I guess while all that was taking place, Deb Adams, the tourist person, she'd rented or hired a drone company to come through and take pictures of Main Street. And to top it off, Steve, and this is the real kicker. 2 black guys, and one of them is somewhat of a felon. Main Street, I mean, Hollywood can't make this up.
They were the ones that got pulled over? Or?
Yeah.
I mean, they just were speeding? There wasn't nothing that came of it? Or?
No, and the guy said, hey, the deputy was like, I'll just give you a warning, you can go. But the old boy...
Acting a fool?
He bowed up at the law, and the law won. So, I guess he didn't write him up for a couple things that he could have wrote him up for. He's still being nice to him, you know what I mean? Small town. Try to be nice anyhow, and it sounds like that was the football coach or some kind of coach that's working at the school that the superintendent didn't do the background search, or he did and concealed it from the board, and pretty funny stuff. Oh, Deb Adams comes running out there. How long you gonna be here? We can't have this in our picture. We can't have 2 black guys in a car with 3 white deputies surrounding them. Now that's tourism.
Hell, that's downtown L.A. right here in Westcliffe.
Right here, baby. Come on in. Yeah, you can't hardly make it up.
No,
And she's trying to get a job. Deb's trying to get a job out of a tourism thing.
well, I'm sure she is. As much money as they take in, I'm sure she's trying to get part of it.
Yeah, and it's a volunteer deal, and a lot of people I think are willing to volunteer, and they're
Last I heard, they're bringing in like 100,000. They're bringing in a lot of money that I don't understand, and I don't have the brain capacity, and I don't have the care to care about. It doesn't make sense to me about how they can take the money, how they can forcefully take the money from the lodging industry for the tourism board. I mean, how are they getting that money back? How can you prove to me that the money that you take from me, whatever it is, 2 or 3% of, I'm not sure if I think it's of the gross, of your gross revenue, they take that right off the top. All of the lodging pays statewide for that tourism thing. And so how can you show me that money that I'm putting in, that I'm getting a return on my investment essentially?
yeah. I mean, it's kind of
here Deb wants to put that in her pocket.
now she's wanting to cut off the top and
Yeah.
create a government job.
Yep.
So that's how liberals roll. That's how that goes. It's par for the course. Same thing. But yeah, it is what it is. But yeah. So anyways, it sounds like the school board's got their hands full. But here again, those are elected officials. You know, those people are elected. And they've got a duty. And reading kind of what went on there, they asked questions of the superintendent, the people that they're not elected, right? They're hired. Principals hired. The board is in charge. They're interceding on the behalf of the taxpayer. They're doing our work. They're doing our job, right? So I don't know where it's slipping through the cracks, but you know, they ask a question, hey, yeah, everything's good, the background and da 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 da, and they're getting lip service. And this is a pattern of behavior with elected officials. They're not holding people accountable. Instead of believing a lie.
Yeah, I mean, and you're completely right, but I mean, it's not just elected officials, it's pretty much the entire population. You know what I mean? Nobody is accountable for anything. Hell, we're going to slide that under your background check or whatever. We're just going to slide that under. It doesn't matter if you're an elected official or not. There's private individuals day and night doing that kind of shit.
Yeah, and I'm not going to concern myself with the private sector. You know what I mean?
Saying.
Oh yeah.
It's every place. It's not just the elected officials.
Right, but the elected officials are held to a standard.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, you can treat your own business however the hell
The thing
you want.
is it's like, trust me, I totally agree with you, but we're over here trying to get them to withhold to a little higher standard. But you look at the pool that they're all coming out of. The pool that they're coming out of has no standard. And so you want them to come up here and all of a sudden be clean and clear and wherever they came from? No.
So that's what I'm saying. That solution oriented is what we're about. Solution oriented, and I was talking to a few people about it today. I was like, so what is your take on why are we dropping the ball? Why do we continuously drop the ball? This school thing has been a saga that's been going on for years. So it needs to be looked at. It needs to look at what is the systemic problem here? Why is this? Do we not offer enough money? Is this the end of the road? Nobody wants to be here? What is it? exactly what's the problem. So anyways, I'm challenging you moms and dads that got youngins in the school. You ought to maybe get a little bit more involved in what's going on and help a little bit. I mean, my taxes go to that school, and I don't like it a tad bit, especially when that Common Core was up in there. That about done it for me. That was I'd just soon not paid any more tax. Had my own modern day Boston Tea Party. Say, look, I'm done until we get this thing on the straight and narrow. But hopefully, I mean, we got there's some pretty good folks on that board. I mean, I think they're smart enough, but I think everybody's too trusting, and they don't hold anybody else accountable. And then it blows up in their face.
If you look at what happened with Jake Shy.
What happened?
When you have to go in there and condone the teachers for the way that they're treating your student, for the way you're treating your kids, and then all of a sudden you get reprimanded, and that's the problem, man. You're looking for one little solution. The whole thing is just nothing but a hodgepodge of derelict. All the way through, man.
Yeah. So that was my thought on it. That was my take, is just shut the whole dog and pony show down.
That's why
no more property taxes. You have a kid, maybe a group of yids ought to get together, and get on the internet and find some classes that fit 6 or 8 of them at the same age or learning level, and let's roll like that. I mean, it sounds like Trumpster, he's nipping in the school thing in the hiney pretty hard, so might be a time for a whole revolutionary change here, because it's what we're doing now is
it's going to take it's an individual change. Change your mind and your ass will follow. That's what. Without that, we're trying to get these guys to change from sitting in here. I mean, they ain't going to change.
Well, and it's not just sitting in here. I mean, here again, this is George's paper, the Sentinel, and he's mentioning some of this stuff. He's bringing it to awareness, So complimenting him a little bit and bringing it to light and saying, hey, try to spread the word some, just a little something. If it's that hopeless, I'm not there yet. I guess I'm not. I'm more of a optimistic individual.
What are you going to do?
First, you recognize the problem. 99% of it.
We've recognized the problem. Got that.
So now
that box is checked. Yeah. Now what?
Now, whoever's on the board needs better hiring skills, better screening skills.
So you're trying to tell me that they let this guy come on and they didn't even let him, they just throwed his background check in the trash?
The superintendent did. But they're the ones that hired the superintendent. So there's a little funny. They're doing an investigation. There's a legal thing going on, and there's an the board.
Who is doing the investigation?
The board has an investigation, and I don't know who's doing it. I'm not sure who's doing it.
Remember that big 3-letter word? Why?
Why? Yeah, I didn't have enough time. Trust me. If I knew, and it may even be in here, but I think it's being investigated by the state. That's the only people I know that would not be contaminated.
I did read that. Do you see what the front page is? About Mesa County?
I did, and I looked at that briefly. I'm not sure
But Tina Peters is still in jail?
Yeah.
The hypocrisy is so heavy that, it's hard for me to... I kind of got my project wrapped up, and I've been burning it on both ends, and I just didn't have a whole lot for this week, but
Oh, no, and that's all right.
Even seeing something like that, it's just like, you're going to try to verify all that stuff, and that's what she tried to do, and she's in the pen.
So that's what this is saying? They're following Tina Peterson's thing?
Hypocrisy is so deep you can't even... That's what she was talking about, was checking the ballots.
Yeah, it's a Mesa County launches ballot verification, giving voters unprecedented access to ballots. So to be in the Sentinel, I don't want to get into it too much. I don't know the particulars.
I'm just saying. They're over here acting like it's all kind of great big. Oh, we're doing so much for election integrity, but yet Tina Peters is in prison. So get the frick out of here. Fuck, man. The hypocrisy.
That's some funny stuff. I know.
It ain't funny. That's the problem. The hypocrisy is so. I mean, I'd rather talk about tractors.
Yeah. I hear you.
I about got the old 510C ready.
Heck yeah. Well, that's important. That's a big deal. That's a big tool, and that's a huge deal, Stephen.
I test drove it a little bit today. It's quite a machine.
Yeah, it's a big, and it's like mid 80s?
Late 80s, early 90s. It needs more attention, but we kind of got the biggest rough edges off of it anyhow.
Got it.
At least the guy can drive it around now without
Take it to the grocery? It'd be all right.
the son of a bitch has got they foam filled them tires.
Oh yeah, Mikey paid for all that. He got that.
Well, it's got a flat spot in it.
Oh, does it?
Oh yeah, you can't even drive it down the road.
Think it bounce you to death?
It's terrible. It's bad, man. I don't know what they did or what happened there, but it's a pretty big problem. You get it out on the road and drive it around a little bit. I mean, you can't even begin. You can only go about half speed with it. It'll throw you right out. I mean, it'll get to bounce so much you'll go off in the ditch.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounded like somebody got that thing a little bit whoopsie-daisied. I guess you need to jack them up when you do that and spin them, huh?
I mean,
Is that how that works? Instead of just...
I'm sure that they had to take it off to take it to the place. I mean, I don't know that they have a mobile.
I have no idea.
The ones that I always did, we had to take them off and take them to the...
Take them to the phone shop?
Yeah, we used to do that on them rakes and them tethers we would put helicopter tires on them.
Oh yeah, you were saying that.
Like 25 ply or something.
Small, super heavy-duty monsters.
And then foam them to boot. They were so stout you had to cut the rim in half. We made 2-piece rims to bolt them together because when you just try to put it on like a regular tire, it would just fold the rim in. That's how stout they are.
So you had to cut and push and...
I cut the rim in half so you can bolt it together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Serious.
That's serious shit there. That's the real... There's where the tread hits the pavement right there. Yeah, girls don't belong in the Boy Scouts. George has got a lot of good articles in this. I just scammed through it real quick, but it'd be coming out. Yep. Some funny stuff going up at the State House. It's kind of crazy stuff, but we'll hear about it once it's here and it's done.
There's a good one. What's that say? LA sales tax 11%.
Yeah.
Over.
Billions of dollars. Los Angeles, California. Billions of dollars in debt. Billions. I forget how many. I just kind of glanced at that.
Stolen homeless.
Oh, yeah, no, the government's just stealing from the people left and right.
What's homeless? Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, they say that's where it's going. Yeah, crazy times on planet Earth. But hopefully we can keep little Custer County somewhat straightened out.
Once again, I'm going to say it, folks. I said it before, and I'm going to say it again, and I'll say it forever and ever. Take care of yourself, right? It starts with individual people taking care of themselves, doing the right thing. Take care of what's inside your own fence first. And once your stuff's squared away, then what do they say? Remove the timber out of your own eye before you try to take the splinter out of someone else's.
Absolutely.
That's it.
So me, where I'm at in that, when I'm watching a place being destroyed from the inside out from elected officials and their mismanagement and using it like a little club or a cabal for themselves. And then I'm seeing down in the future where I live is going to be 11 billion. 11 billion. God only knows what we could end up owing. We've had loss. Look at all the stuff we've had. So my fence includes the guys that are running this thing. That's part of my fence.
Well,
and I hate having to do it, but nobody does it. And you're exactly right. People go, if it's not directly affecting me right now, I'm not going to worry about it.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking
Right.
about taking care of business.
Right.
Ain't nobody taking care of business. How long we been fighting this shit, and what kind of results we got?
Well, I'm seeing some results.
They're still doing the Justice Center. Just saying.
What's going on with that now?
It's right where we left off with it. Annie Fanny and Billy Bob Biden and the whole crew. You're getting it, whether you like it or not. Here we are. We've taken a 2-month break to try to fight the PFAS thing.
Yeah.
And we haven't been hammering them on the Justice Center. I mean, it's about time to get back in the saddle.
It'd be handy to have more people involved and a little bit more proactive. And I think I got a few more people going to the meeting tomorrow morning.
The problem is, too, from what I've seen, man, is you can definitely screw things up. And I mean, it's a really fine line with me, folks, right? I mean, you can think you know what to do, and you can get in there and just ruin everything. All the work everybody else has tried to do, you can go in there and just screw it all up. So, I mean, more people doesn't necessarily the answer. What it is more, it's one shot, one kill, right? It's more skilled, more educated people at the wheel taking control of what's going on.
Right.
It's not more people. I don't need anybody at my shop.
Oh, no.
I just need the old man. The old man runs the parts, runs the telehandler, does a few things for me here and there. That's all. I don't need anybody.
No one. Zero. Absolutely.
And that's kind of what's happened. I mean, not to look what's happened to us at some of these turns where when we get too hot-headed, and when we say we, I'm saying we as a whole group, because we haven't accomplished what we needed to accomplish, just like the finance thing.
And it's coming. See, that's the thing is it's not.
It should already been done, in my opinion. Just saying.
Right.
Had a chance to get it done. You got to run your mouth too frickin' hard.
Yeah.
Play yourself right out of the song.
Yeah.
Me, I'm important. I know, hell, you guys are all no good, blah, 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 blah. And then instead of trying to get accomplishment, then we missed our opportunity. And that's where we're at with a few of these things. And I'm not going to bring...
I've been working on that thing, Stephen, about 6 years. I didn't just jump on that thing all of a sudden.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, just like the deal with, and I'm not going to bring up any names, but the whole thing with the finance. If that would have went down right, should have already had that squared away. Just saying.
And it could have.
Should have.
Yeah, it had the possibility.
The possibility was there. That's what I'm saying. We had a chance and dropped the ball.
Yeah, and
we was in the end zone and dropped the pass and lost the game.
Yeah.
That's just the fact of the matter.
We lost that set we lost, yeah.
Well, and sometimes you don't get a chance to play for the championship again. You don't never get back into that position again. You have to go through another 16 games to try to get to the championship again. And a lot of times you never get there again.
So I don't look at it like that. That was the Hail Mary, and it was the season's over.
It's not a Hail Mary. I'm saying we had a chance and we didn't get there, and now here we are, back to square one.
Yeah, I don't know that it's square one.
Then where do you think it's at with the finance?
I think it's coming to a head now with what's on the minutes of the records. of the pressure that was put on the finance department and what was brought out and said, hey, we need you guys to get this thing fixed. Here again, we got fought on the auditor. There's no way that auditor he's beautiful, he's great. We look at things with clean eyes. We have no idea on what's taking place over there.
That's what I'm saying, and you had a chance to say it, but now it's gone. Hell, how many of the records did they burn up? While we're over here bitching and moaning about don't burn the records up, how many of them's gone? Just saying.
Can't get rid of that bank account. Can't get rid of those checks. Those are always there. So they might try to do something, but they're not going to uncover. The thing is they know that they can't do it. And when they say, oh, we have to keep the auditor one more year, boy, that shit sends shivers up and down my spine going, wow, if something happened to him, where would we be? What would happen? That's why a government accounting standard is protocol and it's mandatory. And we've never acquired that. The gals, when they said CIC was coming in software and this was the gals that were in there were handling it manually. You know, they didn't have the software and all the fancy machinery. They just had a pen and a paper, and then they had a few professionals that would come in and straighten stuff out, and then the auditor would show up and say, yeah, we got your statements and your financial accounts, and yeah, it looks good. So once that stopped and the CIC and the Hunger Buster guy got in there, shit went in the drink. And that's what I've watched. And nobody's ever taken account. Nobody's been accountable for all that. Handing out credit cards.
Of course not. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, so here again, the one thing I want to talk about is there's a statute that the government, the law, gives the independent constituents, and it says if you think there's some malfeasance going on, you know, and I guess it's just a misdemeanor.
The whole thing.
It's only a misdemeanor.
The whole thing about it, man, is a guy can beat around the bush and try to point fingers at him and say all this shit, or you can try to solve the solution. So, and that's the part. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that the game is over. But the game that we were playing's over. We lost our chance.
Just to get in and look at the books.
Yes.
And help solve the problem.
Had a paved highway there, but...
And there was an elected official that shut it down.
Couldn't keep our mouth shut.
Elected official
couldn't keep our mouth shut.
Lenny mouthed off, and that pretty much made Lucas's feelings hurt, and he wasn't going to do his fiduciary duty at that point.
And that
gave him a way out.
How
So being so delicate and
how like, I mean, I'm almost at a loss for words. How tragic.
Oh,
how tragic is
life
it?
ending.
And that's what I'm saying. It's not just. I mean, I'm not trying to say it's anybody's fault, because that's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying here, folks, is that it helps to understand where you're at and what the end game is here, because a lot of times you only got one shot to get where you want to go. How many times will Kansas City come up again and have a chance to win 3 Super Bowls in a row?
Yeah.
Never.
Right.
I mean,
so this ain't Kansas City, and this ain't no Super Bowl.
It's the same thing. They had a chance to get there, and they dropped the ball, and they don't get another chance.
Who is they?
Kansas City.
No, I'm just saying leave Kansas City alone, so we don't get another chance.
Is Lynn going to come in here and audit the books? No, we lost that chance. Yeah. He's not going to do it because he already said that he won't do it, even if they let him do it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
So that's not the only avenue. That's not the only
But
play.
That chance was over.
I'm not going to dwell on it. I ain't going to harp on it.
You had a chance to win the game and drop the ball.
So go hang myself.
No, I'm just saying.
No, that's fine,
I'm trying to let people know that you don't get another chance all the time. So you need to capitalize when you get the chance. That's what I'm saying.
So
Make them count.
You know what was cool was they were in the game playing, and they were trying, and no one else was
Tries
there.
what a steer does.
Yeah.
Just saying. Had the shit, had them, and let it go.
To get in there. I waited months to try to get somebody in there. Yeah.
Run your trap jaw and see what it gets you.
So I still hold Lucas Epp accountable for that, and the two other commissioners. They should have said, "Wait a minute, our feelings can't be hurt because someone."
And who knows? Maybe there wasn't a chance to ever win the game with that.
Maybe that's what I'm saying.
Maybe not. But I mean, we know by the way that we treated that we dropped the ball on our end. We had a chance
You could say
to
that.
get there.
Yeah, I'll go along with that, Stephen. I'll agree with you all day long. But like I said, I've been in this thing for years, and I've watched how it's come about. There is massive amount of stuff, audio and videoed, where you watch how this thing is progressed.
Well, and it's just
now we also didn't have a DA. You didn't have a DA.
You're the only one that knows how to put that together.
I'm good with that. I'm fine.
I know, but you time just keeps slipping by, buddy. That's the problem. What do you got to do? You got to do everything but put that together.
It's put together. Here's where I'm at, Stephen. Now let me put something to you, because you're not the only one who has this opinion. Don't go in. You get a lot more with the honey than you do the vinegar.
I'm not the one that
So
went
I'm
in
in
there
there-
with the vinegar.
I'm going in there with as much. I've never gone in with any vinegar. None.
What's the retard stick?
The retard stick is saying you
That's-
have a
that's
fiduciary
vinegar.
duty. No, it is
It
not.
is.
You could look at it like that.
It is.
But when you have
Instead of
malfeasance
asking
so
them, hey,
deep,
are you guys going to do something about this, or am I going to condemn you over it?
and it happened that way.
Something's going on here. Hello?
You know what I'm saying?
Are we still good, or?
Yeah, we're good. I just disconnected there from it.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Yeah,
10-4.
what I was saying is the battle is going to continue. The raising up the standard. I was nice for a long time until it fell on deaf ears and you could still see it continuous. Then I started getting aggravated. Just like you working on a tractor.
I'm not disagreeing with you at all. I'm totally agreeing with you. But as soon as we get frustrated, and as soon as we lose our composure, that's what I'm trying to. That's my whole scenario here, folks. Of what I'm trying to say is, you have to keep your cool. You have to make these moves count. Soon as you get irritated, that's what they're counting on. Soon as you get irritated, you're out of the game.
Yeah. So I'm going to say that. You're right. And I shouldn't say so because, Matt tells me, now that sounds like you're getting to be opposing and you're getting argumentative. And it's like, well, and I guess Wells the same thing. So where I'm at on this is the circumstances have changed severely into my favor. Nobody else's favor. I don't care what anybody else is doing. We've got different employees. We've got a different DA. A lot of things have changed. Lucas Epp has learned. His eyes went from like this to like, damn, should have let Lenny in. Oh, whoopsie daisy. And he's very forthright with it. He comes right out and poor Bill Biden, he don't know if he's, what do you call that?
Punched or bored.
Punched or bored. And then poor old Vogelson, I don't know what he's doing. I guess he's just there spying. I don't know what he's doing.
I don't know.
So here again, what we have is a dysfunctional group of people. They'll never make a strong decision. They're concerned about somebody's wife having medical insurance, and if they had to fire that employee because not from lack of merit, they shouldn't have hired or promoted or went along with the scheme that they had. Should have been terminated, just like the lawyer. See, here again, we have a bunch of pitiful people in leadership. So all this is misfeasance, malfeasance, and nonfeasance, and the only tool I got is that one statute. And people devalue that thing all the way to the end. And I'm the one that's going to hold that banner and say, look, I tried and this is where it's at. It's all in the DA's hand. They've got to come in and investigate. That's where that's at. I've tried. But they are making, the HR person, I think, is kind of getting his poop in a group. He's a strong leader. He's a hell of a lot better than what we've ever had. That's all I'll say. And then the gal that's in the welfare department that took Lockhart's place, she's got in there and she's raising the standards and she's getting the SOP straightened out and making that happen. So yeah, I think we're making some headway. The finance thing is the problem. And not being able to have financials available for somebody to look at monthly statements. That's a bad deal. Something's gone awry there, and I don't know what it is. And then the credit card, no receipts for credit cards. I mean, there's plenty of charges that the DA can bring.
You hit the nail on the head, and what I'll add to that is it's the same thing at Round Mountain, it's the same thing at the school district, it's the same thing at Westcliffe.
Absolutely.
It's all the same thing.
It's all the same.
It has nothing to do with Custer County. It's everywhere.
Exactly, but my first and foremost thing is an uneducated we the people. We got a lot of we the people.
All you young kids out there, which hopefully maybe there's one or two listening. I kind of doubt it.
Even 20s and 30s, even 40s. 40s young up here. 40s is your kid.
Somebody has to. The younger generation has to. They're the ones that'll have to make the change, because we can work at it all we can work and do the best we can and snipe what we can snipe. But at the end of the day, if there's 5 more pops up where we took one out,
we're not really making any headway.
We ain't making no headway. Again, it's got to start from down underneath.
My biggest concern is when I moved here, it was a Republican conservative neighborhood. Okay, I didn't see a bunch of towel heads running around. I didn't see a lot of Mexicans or black people. I was like, damn, I'm home. I'm home. I want to come in here and enhance this place.
And where's our Republican neighborhood at now? They sue the man that tries to help them.
Yeah. Absolutely. So it's definitely, Steve, I know exactly what you're saying. And if I was focusing on all of the dismay, all of the dysfunction and all the stupidity, I wouldn't be sitting here right now with you. I wouldn't be with Mike, and we wouldn't be doing this. I guarantee we wouldn't be. I have a future at stake. And other people do too, whether they know it or not. And I don't know if they're leaning on 1 or 2 people to solve the whole problem.
Of course they are.
And that's okay, because I know what I've got to do as an individual here.
What did the Whiteds say? They everybody expects Donald Trump to do it.
Right? Oh yeah, he's the leader.
We're saying
no, he's.
That's what
not even close.
That's back to what I was talking about all along. Is you have to make sure it is squared away. You first. You have to be squared away with what you're doing first before you can go out and try to take care of someone else. Just saying. How are you going to go? Just hypothetically, how can you go out and bang on the commissioners if you can't even handle your own finance?
Right.
It's the same thing, right?
Same thing.
If you're derelict, you don't even know what the hell you're doing. How are you going to bang on them?
I'm doing okay.
I'm not saying you. Right. I'm saying theoretically,
so theoretically,
this is a hypothetical situation of what's wrong with the world.
Yeah, it is. So here again, at the end of the day, I'm not going to look at what other people are not doing.
I'm not talking about that. It's advice for people to take care of what is in front of them. You need to make your own life squared away first before you can help someone else. It's just like the freaking airplane, the oxygen mask on the airplane. What do they say? Put your mask on first.
Absolutely.
That's where we're at, and that's what we're not getting done.
Right. So as a community, we need to get.
Everybody needs to get their mask on first so we can fight the good fight.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to try to, but they don't.
Yeah. I don't even see I don't even see that anymore. I don't see any of that.
Hell, look right in there. What does the libtards? We want to get around. We want to get a round table with the commissioners.
I went to it.
That's oh.
I went to it. It was just like
saying.
A barrel of monkeys.
Gonna try to tell you how to do stuff, and they don't have a clue what
they
they're
got.
Even
No
talking
traction. It was an embarrassment on their part. It was like, what are you gonna make Trump do as commissioners? It was like, really? That's hilarious. What do you think they're going to do to Trump?
Well, and
as a little old commissioner,
that's the
government's going to help me.
That's the disillusion or
Yeah.
the illusion of whatever, where they actually even think that the commissioner could do something.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. It was like a barrel of monkeys in there. Yeah, it was really despicable, really. So I'm going to try to get the body cam from what happened here on Main Street and what took place there. Try to get that to Mikey so he can put a few quickies up on that deal, because that's funny. Just Deb Adams alone. If nothing else, it's funny. If you know what's going on there, it's hilarious. Here comes the tourism drone flying over, taking pictures of Main Street, and we got 2 black guys in front of Chappie's with 3 white. I mean, that's hilarious. And Deb coming over, hey, we're taking pictures here. You gotta go.
To me, it's.
I have to laugh.
That's stupid.
I have to laugh.
That's ridiculous.
It is. It's beyond.
I mean, it's like so far off my radar. There ain't even one shred of me that cares any.
Right. That job, her getting that job's got a few people kind of disturbed. They're like, man, that's a volunteer thing. And if anything, that money needs to go elsewhere other than there. You know what I mean?
The whole thing is where does the money come from? It comes from the lodging.
Right.
Statewide.
Yeah.
These are state mandated taxes taking money out of your pocket, and she wants to get it in her pocket?
Absolutely.
Just saying.
Yeah. So
Just
there's stuff that takes place there, and it's definitely it's a good. I guess it's a good thing to do. Try to get going.
They approved the wood chipper, so.
Oh yeah, got that all handled. Yeah.
98,000 worth.
Yeah. Not counting however much that dump trailer costs. Then they got to have a truck and insurance, and then they got to have somebody that's, they're teaching people and on the clock. So it's asinine. These are the things that have to get reversed. We can't keep standing for this kind of nonsense. That's what I'm saying. The liberals should be all over these guys when they're not. So they're serving the liberals. Some way and fashion, these elected officials are just serving the little bitty handful of liberals up here that are active in their community. That's where we fail. We sit there on the Constitution and our guns and go, well, we put up with it till we won't put up with it no more. Then what do? Well, then be too late. So being proactive now would kind of be handy. And we did want to give some, we've got a pretty elite military person that's being introduced into the, did you read that, Stephen?
A little bit,
Pretty cool guy. That's also in Georgia's newspaper. I've got to meet him on a couple occasions. He's got 3 little daughters, a nice wife. Actually, his wife is pretty instrumental here too, but he's got quite the service record as being a ranger. And rangers are pretty elite, pretty cool people. So just wanted to give him some kudos there, Michael. So I appreciate you big time. So I don't know what else to even talk about other than I don't know what Round Mountain's doing. People that have skin in the game, and I guess I'm one because Bill Biden said I do. So we need to look at what other crises they're going to be facing, because it sounds like they need $16 million or something for the reservoir.
That's
There's
not the case.
All kinds of little funny things going on. I don't know.
I already know. The reservoir costs $4 million.
Yeah.
They already told us that. Upper Ark's right in on that.
Yeah, there was a $16 million deal between that and more water structure. there's a lot of chaos still not done up there. That thing has not been ran properly. So we need to look to see where the money's going. If it's big retirements.
I'm telling you right off the top, and I've said it before, man, they just think they're going to dump that water off in Grape Creek because the PFAS is still in there. So everybody's worried about all this other shit, but we're basically back to square one. As soon as the EPA figures out and the state figures out that you can't return flow this water into Grape Creek with PFAS in it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This thing is not done yet.
We need to get Paul on here and talk to about what maybe kind of solutions he has. I mean, I've been too busy doing what I'm doing, trying to get that project done that I needed to get done for this gentleman. So I mean,
I've got several projects, and now it's planting season, so it's even getting more funner. But anyways, George, I think you did a really good job. This is a pretty good group of information here. In the reporting.
I will say I'm surprised that George didn't print my letter to the editor, but Jordan did.
Yeah, and I don't know what happened there.
Obviously, he didn't want to print it, or he would have. That's all that happened.
So there you go. I would take that up with George and say, what's going on? How come that didn't get printed?
Man, I'm not going to go ask him. If you wanted to print it, you would have.
Yeah,
it's that simple. I don't need to ask you again why you don't want to go to the prom with me. You know what I mean? You don't have to say anything to me. Actions speak louder than words.
There you go. Done.
Well, you don't want to print it? Don't.
Exactly.
Doesn't change my opinion about it.
Exactly.
But you can read it in the Wet Mountain Tribune, folks.
Yeah, and Jordan's done a really good job too on the PFAS reporting.
He's Jordan's kind of switched his stride a little bit here lately, in my opinion. He
has. He definitely has. Now that he's got a young'un, maybe that has a little something to do with it. I don't know.
Well, I think at one point, I mean, that's what repent is. And at some point, it's not even a biblical thing. It's just, damn, I was wrong, and now I figured out where I was wrong, and I'm not wrong anymore.
Yeah, absolutely.
I figured it out, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Don't go down that road.
Well, that's whoops.
Go this way.
We lost the only chance in history to ever be three-peat Super Bowl champions. Whoops.
Yeah.
What's the chance of happening? It's going to take at least 3 years. And then, so what, you're going to have to win 5 out of 6? I mean, odds are almost impossible.
Yeah, I wouldn't even try. I'd hang her up.
Well, I mean, they get paid a lot of money to do that, so I doubt they're hanging it up.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's the other part. So, yeah, I'm hoping that we can kind of preserve this county. But we're going to need a lot stronger leadership than what we got right now. So, and I don't know where that's coming from.
Man, I don't either, because, I mean, the people that are really hardcore and really successful and all of that, they don't care. They're doing their own thing. And, I mean, I'm partially on that same boat too, right? I mean, I'm trying to
we all are
maintain what I feel is most important.
Well, first things first. Yeah.
Yeah, I can bitch and moan all the while over here at the courthouse, but if my own bank account is in the negative, I don't give a shit about them. I care about me.
Yeah. Well, no, and that's where 99% of people are. They're too consumed about their own life to even look up and pay attention.
Sometimes you make it sound derogatory.
It's not derogatory.
When you tell them they're consumed,
it's a fact.
You make it sound like they got their head up their ass.
No. No, between inflation and all the other
a lot of people
moving parts in the planet.
A lot of people just don't have the mental capacity to even understand it.
Right. Yeah, it's not. Well, that's what they say, 1% to 3%. It's 1%ers, 3%ers. That's where it comes down to. But that's another situational awareness. You cannot think that other people are going to do something that maybe you're supposed to do.
It boils down to some people just don't have the mental prowess, man. I mean, you can think you're and study your ass off, but you probably still can't do calculus.
It's pretty tough.
And no, some people can just do calculus and
like it's nothing.
Nothing.
But and it comes down to aptitude.
Well, it's skills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you have to have an aptitude, right? You have to have I guess, some kind of sense to
Inner tuition.
Yeah. So if you are a big math guy,
either you're good
it probably
at it or
comes
you ain't.
easy, but you may not be able to spell it.
Well, you probably can, but I mean,
But you know what I'm saying?
yeah, but you probably can't change a leaky faucet.
Right. Whatever. Exactly. So we all have different traits, and that's what we got to be looking at.
Well, and that's back to that's where I was talking about the whole time, where a lot of we don't need more people, just real sheer numbers. What we need are more specialists. We need people that are specialized in what they do. They understand what to go. Just like a sniper, there ain't 5 or 6 or 10 or 15 guys telling him how to shoot the gun.
No.
It just don't work that way.
So when we get down to this is what this comes down to, is the government accounting standards and the finance thing does take a pretty knowledgeable individual. And I relate it to as an apprenticeship, as a plumber or electrician. You start off as an apprentice.
It's kind of like when we're just going to wire an electrical outlet, and then you got 100-story high rise to wire.
Yeah, there's a big difference.
Yeah, wiring an outlet.
That's Simple Simon.
Simple Simon. Black goes
doing
to the
load,
brass.
doing load calcs and
black goes to the brass screw.
Yeah.
Right.
Black is hot.
So
white's a neutral. Exactly. Green is the ground.
But you got you.
So those are basics, and that's kind of what we need to be educating and looking for. In my opinion, is if we could get some grassroots person that's growing up here, and that can be installed, and if they have an aptitude or a desire to be a servant in a commissioner facility, or if they're going to be a treasurer, some elected official, we've discarded all that. We've devalued all of that. Now you get somebody just shows up, and people go in and they vote. Boom, there you go. I don't know him from Adam, but at least he's willing to serve. And then that's what we get. That's where we're at.
Well, and it's a real challenge to expect somebody from the community to be able to handle the task at hand. There probably is, but they are somebody that's good enough to do it is already doing stuff for their own, and they don't want to mess with it. That's the
Here
problem.
again, Steve, we're going to keep going back to it's unsolvable. And that's kind of what I'm hearing. Is it's an unsolvable.
I'm not saying that it's unsolvable.
Wait a minute.
But
It is.
I'm saying that it sort of is. Because if it was solvable, it would already been solved.
Right. Exactly.
So it's going to take a different method than the methods we've already tried.
Yeah, the method is holding an elected official accountable.
This pin that I'm trying to hammer in this joint.
Yeah.
I never did get it in there. You know what? I put a chain around it in a 20-ton jack and put pressure on it and wiggled it and wiggled it and wiggled it.
Sure.
So it would go in. You could beat on that till you was
blue in the face.
You'd never get it in
Never
there.
get it. It had to be pressured. Had to be a lot of pressure put on it.
Had to have pressure.
And solid. And then it had to get wiggled.
Yeah, it had to get lined up, and you can't see in there.
You can't see in there.
So to try to
so
hit
it's you ain't.
Yeah.
You just got to kind of jiggle it in there.
That's what we need to do here is put the pressure on them where they can't get away from us.
That's what I'm doing. I'm doing my very best to wiggle that 4-inch solid steel pin in there that I can't see because I can't get in there. Okay, but I can see from the outside that it's melting down, and I've watched it because there's no books.
What makes sense? The only thing that's made sense to me for a while is to do what you've talked about, is to get the law involved.
That's the only thing that's going to work.
Nothing
here.
is ever going to happen until it goes to court.
So it's going to the state auditor,
and they ain't going to do shit either. The state auditor is not going to do anything. That's where, remember the conversation we had with that a long time back. Jenna Griswold is in control.
Right.
And what's she going to do for your little red county?
So I know, but watch this. That's right.
And
that's right.
And the state auditor is not it's not the court.
Not the court.
No, they're not. They can't file.
They're the tattletale.
They can't file a criminal complaint. The DA has to get involved.
Yeah, absolutely. So here again, when this is filed, this is just one more nail in the coffin.
And
this is another wiggle on the pin, Stephen.
That's why I'm like,
trying to get that
why can't it just be one thing? Like, you bought this property for way more than it was valued for, and you've locked it up to the point where we can't do anything with it, and we're still paying on it.
Yeah, that's one.
Why can't that be enough?
Yeah, you would think that.
We only need one target. We don't snipe 10 targets at a time.
Well, kinda.
No, not if you're a real sniper. But your gun only shoots one shot at a time, unless you're calling down the J-dams or something.
Yeah,
or you got the Reaper drone.
Yeah,
but that's not a sniper.
Right. And I didn't say sniping. I'm not.
That's
sniping.
what I'm talking about.
Right. I'm not sniping. I'm trapping.
I'm talking about.
I got a whole group. This is like hog trapping.
Sniping these bastards, man. One shot, one kill.
And that would be good if we had a sniper, a trapper, and several hunters, doing their thing, and there was a barrage of this. Maybe we'd get something done. If we had the chain and the 20-ton jack and in there wiggling, we might get it.
Well, then that's the thing. That's all one thing, right?
The one thing is to get it corrected. The one thing is get these people going, damn, we have a duty and we're failing at it. We're derelict of duty and we've got to get other people in here.
The thing is that once you look at too many options, you get blinded by the light. The one option that would actually work, you get confused, and then you don't follow on through on that one properly.
So when I say pattern of behavior, it's not, I backed into your car at the parking lot. Nope. Or I'm putting this pin in. Nope. It is a pattern of behavior that has to be recognized. All of these malfeasance, misfeasance, and nonfeasance decisions and actions.
That's what I'm saying about the
is the whole thing.
Mesa County is saying, look how good we are. But Tina Peters is in prison for doing the same shit.
Oh, did she have that software?
She was trying to do the same stuff, man. It's election integrity. That's what the whole Tina Peters deal went down. You listen to, here you go, folks. Nobody understands this, but you listen to the interview between Tina Peters and Mike Adams, the health ranger.
Yeah.
You listen to that interview, and then you'll have a real idea of what's going on. If you just listen to the papers in the news, you think Tina Peters is a crook. Yeah. She's not.
She's not.
She was trying to do the same stuff that they're snapping their suspenders over now. Well, look how smart we are. We're the first county to do it. Oh, yeah? The gal was trying to do it, and you throwed her ass in the pen.
Well, no, and these are the people that were helping. Yeah, these aren't her enemies that are doing that.
I'm pretty sure they are.
Okay.
I mean, I'm pretty sure
No, these are the people that want the standard raised up that she was trying to say, look, we got a problem. This ain't working. So these people put $20,000 into some software thing that you can track the ballot and the integrity of a ballot. I thought it was pretty cool. But maybe they're against her.
If they're so cool, why is she in jail?
Because the judge put her there.
For the same stuff that they're doing?
No, not even close.
It's the same. Trust me, man.
So they're publishing their criminal activity. I guess as soon as this is published, they're going to jail.
No, they ain't going to go to jail because it's that whole pattern of behavior. They're snapping their suspenders. Look how great we are. And they're doing the same thing she did, but it's fine.
I don't know where they're doing the same thing. I don't know.
It is in my mind. I would listen to the interview between Mike Adams and Tina Peters and then read that article and tell me if you agree or not.
Right.
Otherwise, if you don't listen to that article, then you don't know where I'm coming from.
I think this absolutely is on behalf of what happened to her. In my opinion, just doing a quick read over it. I don't see any suspenders snapping even a little bit here. They're hoping to bring the integrity to Mesa County because somebody
the woman
suffered.
is still in prison.
Well, what are they supposed to do, Steve?
I'm just saying.
I don't think that this has got all that. I mean, we'd have to scour
Did you read
and
it?
look at.
I read it.
I read it, part of it.
I read it while you were inside.
Yeah, I read part of it. It looked to me like it was an attempt to be able to have third-party tracking.
It looks to me like the same stuff that sleight of hands that Billy Boy Biden does to you. Oh, I'm so great. Oh, no, I'm great. Look at me. That's the way I perceive it. Just Mike Adams, health ranger, interviewing Tina Peters, folks. Listen to that.
So did she have this? She didn't have what they got going on.
She was just trying to run an original election campaign before all this high tech stuff came on board. She's just trying to do her job. Listen to the interview with Mike Adams.
Yeah, she went to jail because they found her guilty of something. These guys,
really?
I don't think, are real guilty of anything here.
Unless you listen to the interview with Mike Adams and
you just don't know.
Yeah, you have no idea what you're trying to tell me that the judge has more. What the fuck ever.
I mean, didn't
the judge?
Didn't the judge send her ass to jail?
Nobody else did. Of course, it was the judge. And is it a Democratic judge? Yeah.
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 So that's where I was seeing that this was kind of
the interview with Tina Peters and Mike Adams. When you listen to that and you listen to what she did, what she was trying to get done, and how they treated her.
Yeah.
And then now these people are like, "Oh, we're great. We're going to get election integrity."
I didn't hear that. I didn't get that off of what I read. It was like we're coming up with a third party, a way we can track and have transparency with all these ballots to get voters to vote too. And they said once we have this, it's going to be encouraging. Because
and what the hell was she doing?
She was doing the exact same thing.
There you go.
Yeah, but it's not, Steve.
It is. It's the exact same thing. She was trying to say, this doesn't add up. You guys are crooks. You're doing it crooked. And what she do? She goes to prison over it.
Exactly. So now we're going to have a clear understanding. I'll be able to explain myself. She was doing it in a fashion without the software and the third party and the backing of the people.
Well, yeah, because it's already happened. It's like Billy Bob Biden. I'm trying to tell you that.
Well, no.
He just makes a sleight of hand and now it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, but Billy Bob knows he got caught. So I don't see them. I think they're not letting her. Here's where I'm going to go with it. And I'm kind of an optimistic, positive person. They don't want her to be in the jailhouse suffering for trying to intercede on their behalf. They're like, no, Tina, we're going to get something. We're going to get a tool that we can legally do this. And that's what I hear.
Do you know?
That's what I hear.
Is that Bobby whatever? Do you know if she's a Democrat?
I have no idea.
Well, you might want to check that out first.
I have no idea.
Might want to check that out first.
But
before you jump on the bandwagon and say how great they are, you might figure out if she's a Democrat.
The way this sounded to me was they were raising the standard in Mesa County because they knew it was a problem.
Tina tried to raise the standard and they sent her to jail for it.
So I see what you're saying, but that's not where I'm going with that.
That's where I'm going.
Okay. Well, let me tell you, we're going to do a little investigation, and next week we'll be able to address that because I do want to get to the bottom of that.
And listen to the interview between Mike Adams and Tina Peters. I never knew, as long as the deal's been going on with Tina Peters, and a lot of people, there's been a lot of articles. I've read a lot of articles from the Sentinel about it. None of them explained what the deal was till you listen to it from the words come out of her mouth.
Right.
The rest of it is not accurate. You listen to what the lady has to say, and it's like, damn.
No, I think she was a woman of integrity and trying to make a difference. And she's just said, hey, I'm calling you guys out. But apparently she did something that wasn't acceptable, and the judge said, well, Tina, we know you're working hard, honey.
Is it a Democratic judge? Now you're back to you're actually having faith in the
judge.
So
did she appeal it? I mean, what's going on?
I guess. I mean, I don't know.
I'm hoping Trump just says, let her out.
I don't know why she's not already out.
I don't know either. There's a lot of Sixers still in there, too, that ain't out. So there's some funny business going on. But it's politics.
And that's what I'm saying about the judge. I have no faith in a judge of any kind. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I mean, I like our little local judge. Hopefully tomorrow he can do what he needs to do.
I'm hoping there's some people show up there too and watch that. I think it starts at 9. I think they got a couple cases going on.
The thing is I don't know what the deal is. It's not my deal. And I'm not going to get into between it because I don't know.
Right. I don't either. But just going there and listening and kind of poking around it kind of be a good idea for some people, because
everybody's more than welcome to go, but I can guarantee you won't see me there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the judge hopefully does what he's supposed to do, and that's why we rely on him. It's not going to change if I'm there.
No.
I'm not going to change anything. That's back to what I need. I got other stuff that I need that I can make a difference on. Now somebody else might be able to make a difference. I don't know. I don't understand. It's not in my wheelhouse.
There was some people there, but I think she's going to carry her own water pretty well. But we'll see how that all goes. And I was just wondering about that Liberty Rocks thing. Usually there's an advertisement in there. I didn't see it. I don't know if they're having one of those. What Thursday?
Well, it only happens like twice a month, so it's probably the off month, or I don't know.
Yeah. It's every other month?
Or every other week. I don't know. I don't know when the hell it is.
Oh, you don't get the email?
I don't care.
I don't get the email either.
I don't care when it is. It's not something that... I mean, I went there. Once I figured out all them people were behind the Justice Center, I quit going. It's that simple for me. I don't have enough time and enough mental paralysis. My mind is already getting slowed down and stoved up with junk.
Junk. No more junk. Well, that's kind of what they count on. That's the big part of the wear them down. But anyhow, so the sludge thing, I think Round Mountain is a big deal. Still, I don't think that thing's even close to being over with the financial whoopsie daisies. In my opinion, but there need to be an investigation going on.
All you got to do is go to the board meeting.
Yep.
I mean, they've invited us there numerous times.
Yeah. I got to go to the secretary and just pull the paperwork, as I think is what's going to have to happen.
And the real thing is like, even if you know the financial records, then what? Like, that doesn't help solve the problem, in my opinion. Right? Knowing where they spent the money doesn't help the PFAS situation at all.
So knowing how much is coming in and where it's going and how much is going to be put for future development is what I want to know. Are we going to hit that target, or are we going to have another Mayday? What's going to happen?
It's going to be Mayday.
The people that are flushing toilets and depend on that water, there's a duty there. There's a duty of care, and it needs to be. If they can't hit the duty, if they say, "Hey, we ain't going to get it," people need to start doing something now. Well, they got a little bit of time to maybe make something happen.
It's back to what the old man said it a long time back, and I firmly believe what he said. Without
consequences,
without the court getting involved, what are you going to do?
Right. It's
nothing. They're going to spend the money however they feel that they need to spend it, and until a guy can see enough of a problem to get the law involved, I don't know what the hell else you're supposed to do.
That's all you can do. That's absolutely it, Stephen. And that's what I'm saying. That one statute, that's the only real. There's a couple other statutes that really get into some of that.
Just not to jump on George, but that's why I was pretty irritated that he wouldn't print my article, because when I'm trying to call Round Mountain out about how they lied to us, I mean, that's like all we can do is voice our opinion of how we feel. Like, we know they lied to us.
Yeah.
They told us they had 4 tests. And they were all good to go with all the PFAS.
Yeah, and then one of the big questions, too, is going to be, they mentioned that grape was already pretty contaminated further up the road,
Yeah.
Where's the tests on that?
That's your boy Billy Biden that doesn't know
spewing?
if he's punched. Yeah, of course it's just spewing.
He's just spewing. Exactly. So that's one of the questions, Freddie Murray.
That's what I'm saying.
So the minutes...
He'll tell you on one hand he's going to say that, but on the next hand, he's so great and wonderful because he got him out of hot water. What did they call him? The Hi-O Silver and Away, the silver horse. Really?
Really?
Yeah, that's what front page in the paper.
Well, I know. And here again, that's right. And I disagree with that 100%.
But they won't print my article about how we think that they're lying to us. Okay.
Yeah, don't make sense.
Don't make no sense to me. But it doesn't. That's not my paper. This is mine.
Yeah, there you go.
Right. So that's what we're doing now. Hopefully somebody cares and somebody's listening. I mean, at least we understand what we're talking about. For the most part. Yeah. Well, we damn sure understand that they told us that they had 4 individual tests and that they tested for everything that they required, including the PFAS chemicals, and there's not even one single test. And not to mention, you're going to try to tell us it's a $2 million thing and, the sky is falling, Yeah. And then when we buck up hard enough, then it's only, it was 100,000. And you told us it was 300 grand, but it was really only 240.
Yeah, so Bill was telling me, $1 to $2 million. We're going to close the towns down. Where's the puppet at? Anyways, yeah, Billy blew it up. All you got to do is listen to Dave, Jimmy. Dave's got all the answers.
I listened to Billy Bob Biden. He told me what to do.
He was like, it's all good, Jimmy. Bill was it's all good. It's not a problem. It's all good. Just listen to Dave. I was like, I don't need to listen to Dave. I already know. That ain't coming out here. I already know. It's not like I don't know. It ain't coming out here. It can't. The damage that it would do it would wipe out the whole valley. I mean, not only would it take out the 2 towns financially.
That's why I guess
it was a no-starter.
I'm a little disappointed that George wouldn't print my article about that because it kind of brings them back into the spotlight of why would they try to pull our pants down and up over our head, right? Like, it's going to be $2 million, and if you don't do it, then we're going to go out of business. Really? And the frickin' thing was only 100 grand more, and you lied about 60,000 of it to start with?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So looking at the books and seeing where the money's going, and
I'm back to, I don't think that you're gonna, even if you know where the money's going, all that's gonna do is satisfy you. That's not gonna do anything to the court.
It's a hard fact that can
if
be
you go,
so the
we can't even get George to print the article that I was quoting to his newspaper.
I don't know I'm not in charge of that.
I'm just saying, I don't need the financial records to show that they're 3 screwed up sideways.
Right. Oh no, I think we made that very clear several times.
Shit, man.
That thing's been
all you got to do is read what was printed.
So if I've got property in the district, that's what they call it, right? The Round Mountain Water District. So if I'm paying them a bill, and I already seen how they managed this last crisis, I'd be thinking to myself, I wonder what else is percolating up underneath there.
So my whole thing is it's like we can assume all of this stuff, but I'm back to what the old man says. If you can't get the court involved, you're just wasting your time.
And you can't get the court involved until you have some facts.
But you can't. Wait a minute. We can get the court involved. We already have the facts. They lied straight to our face. It's going to be $2 million. Oh, yeah? And they show up with the contract and it was $240,000 and then another $100,000? I mean, what more proof do you need? Just saying, folks.
Right.
The proof's right there, but we can't. The powers that be, that they don't think that it's important enough to bring this to light. It's kind of strange. Bob Cinderhoff, I know he's been working hard to try to raise the money for Round Mountain. And he told me the other day when he's at the counter, he said, man, that's a hell of an article. And I'm thinking to myself, then why in the hell are you trying to bail these bastards out? Boy, that was a really good article here. Let's just keep giving them the money. I mean,
no accountability.
My brain is just like, there's no comprehension to the stupidity and the absurdity of this stuff, man.
I know. I don't know where it ends.
I don't know either.
Moving is not an option.
Till somebody gets into a big enough lawsuit that they can't get out of, like they would have got into if they had spread that sludge. Then it would have been a whole different deal. There's a couple of them landowners out in there. I mean, it's not just a couple of them. The EPA has already settled 6,400 lawsuits.
And how many billions?
$11 billion.
Yeah. And now they've said no more doing that. They're like, yeah, we got a problem here, boys.
Well, now they're talking about making this stuff super fun. So it's like what you've been saying all along. They're going to condemn this ground, folks. Where all that paper mill stuff was spread, 45,000 ton out of just one paper mill.
How many acres?
10,000 acres.
10,000 acres.
And I mean, like, if you just look from what you can see, it's fine, right?
Right.
Hell, I mean, it was pretty good fertilizer.
Some of it, yeah. No, that probably was real good.
It is.
I bet that was real good fertilizer.
It was. It's just
that had plenty of nitrogen in it.
It's all the damn toxins that you can't see.
Absolutely. Poisonous fertilizer. And you were saying they were mixing that in potting soil now too, huh?
Well, they've been doing that. 24% of all of the biosolids goes to potting soil. It's not potting soil. It's bagged fertilizer.
Right.
So I mean, when you put that on your flower bed, and then your little kid runs out there and plays in it and digs through it and puts his hands in his mouth.
Wonder why everybody and their brothers got cancer. Sad state of affairs.
When they talk about any amount of exposure, right? I mean, it's less than a part per billion, right? They're talking about any. Not, there's no limit. It's any.
Yeah. So it's getting real. I just hopefully we can have some influence.
I guess tonight
on
is
the situation.
Yeah, I mean, tonight for me is not really a solution night, right? Because I didn't have a topic that I researched that I have an opinion about a solution. Tonight is just like, I guess it's just an explanation of the problem, what we're talking about tonight,
sure.
Folks. These are the problems that face us, and what are we supposed to do? I mean, I've said this before, I'll say it again, and I'll say it again and again and again, right? It's going to take a technological advancement of some sort. It's basically a miracle to get rid of this stuff. And then what do you do? What do you do when you got these big rigs? Like I was telling you, that tractor that I bought 20 years ago from Greeley, that's what they did, was pull them slurry wagons with biosolids coming from New York 20 years ago up in Greeley. How do you clean?
You don't.
When you knifed it in this deep.
I don't think you do. You just don't. I just say protect the clean stuff you got. Don't let it happen anymore.
And so the question is at this point is like, what do we do with all of this biosolid? I can guarantee you that Denali is not going to slow down. They're not going to slow down till the EPA runs them out of business, and they're owned by BlackRock, which basically probably owns the EPA. So they're not going to stop anytime soon.
The only time they'll stop is when they run into public opposition, and then really it's almost like they bought themselves some time, and what are they really going to end up doing out here?
That's what I hated to to throw the baby out with the bathwater. But the whole time I'm thinking to myself, our biggest problem is we don't have a leach field. And so all of this stuff that I'm studying, right, it talks about how, so it doesn't really travel very good in water, right? That's the whole
development. That's what it's designed to do, is resist water.
Right, exactly. Right, so it doesn't really stay in water. It tries to bind to organic compounds, dirt, sludge, all of that stuff. So
any matter.
Putting it into a leach field might not be the best idea in the world, but it's better than putting it in Grape Creek and sending it to Pueblo Reservoir so everybody can drink it all up and down the Front Range.
Yeah.
And our problem where we're at, I mean, Dave expressed this. I mean, we're on this huge layer, and unless you go across Grape Creek, we're on this volcanic layer of ash. That's not across Grape Creek in the bottoms and up towards the mountains. All that volcanic action all happened out here in the wet mountains. That's why that huge bench is all the way. That's a lava flow that stopped, and then it drops off to where the creek is. So that geological formation where we need to try to put the leach field has got us. We're hung up big, folks. And so, I mean, don't get me wrong. Do I hope that PAL Water Solutions has a solution? I really do. But it's like, if they could do what they said they could do, they would already be a $1 trillion company.
Yeah.
Why are they not doing that to every municipality all over the planet?
That's that simple kind of thinking why behind it. You know what I mean?
So
why.
you say you can, but if you can, why aren't you? And so you're trying to tell me the whole world's pivoting over our little shithole pool
here?
Yeah,
it's all hinged right here.
Yeah, right.
Blow some more smoke up my ass, Dave.
Yep.
So anyways, that's pulling the books, looking at the numbers, seeing what the pitfall is. They're still up against the ropes. They're on the ropes so bad still.
Yeah, and so in my opinion,
and they're desperate.
Money has nothing to do with it. Money has nothing to do with the situation.
None.
It just does. Yeah, it's
None.
none. I mean, the situation
Doesn't even equate.
The situation is we have no leach field. We don't have what we need to have a leach field. And so, I mean, I don't.
And how many thousands of gallons a day just keep...
180,000 gallon, if I remember
180,000 gallons a day, I believe, is pretty close. So, I mean, you don't have to be a math whiz to figure out that's a whole bunch.
That's a
so
bunch.
where's it going? Where's it going now?
Yeah, and how many other municipalities?
It's catastrophe.
All up and down the Arkansas River.
Man.
Coaldale and
Avondale and all them.
Yeah, and
Howard
and all of them.
The uppers, yeah.
How many of them, what are they doing with theirs? So if you can get it clean enough to dump in, if you can meet the requirements that Dave talked about for heavy metals and this and that, stupendous, right? All them big treatment plants can do that, but they don't take care of the PFAS.
No.
And the PFAS, folks, are just coming to light. People are just beginning to figure it out. The EPA is just pulling their head out of their ass. I mean,
there's lawyers advertising it on Facebook big time.
And one of the things that, I mean, it is what it is, because I looked into some of that stuff too, but most of the stuff that with the lawyers is all about, can you prove that it's physically injured you?
Yeah.
Right? There's no...
You got to have some kind of cancer.
Yeah, there's really no... They're not involved enough about the rest of this stuff. I mean, there's some where they're suing them over this land and stuff, but most of all them big lawsuits all have to do with physical injury.
Yeah.
And, you know, most of that stuff all comes off that phone, that AFFF.
Oh, the fireman phone?
Yeah. That's where most Camp Lejeune, all that stuff is caused from them PFAS chemicals in that foam.
I'm just glad I got a well out. Hopefully it's semi-protected. Hopefully we can buy a little time. I mean, you can't get much further up the hill than here. I don't know what else to do.
No, I mean, we're doing what we can do, and I mean, even as irritated as I get, I mean, I'm still happy to be where I'm at. I do what I do. I mean, it's not that I don't care what happens, but I don't, right? I mean, I can only do what I can do, and I'm only going to be able to take care of what I can take care of. And it's going to have to seek its own level here, folks. I mean,
and that's kind of where we were at with the finance department. It's like, we can talk until we're blue in the face and have all the recommendations and suggestions and all the solution-oriented ideas and encourage them and try to. But at the end of the day,
if they don't want to, they ain't going to.
They got to do it. And if they don't, and that's part of the minutes. That's another thing. People don't understand. Those minutes are there for a reason. Keeping track of minutes. Lawyers are taking the minutes, the audio and video. Not just the secretary writing down the minutes, because they'll write down what they want to write down. Now it's audio and video in a lot of these things. So the lawyers are going, well, was this you right here? Is this what you said in this time, at this date? Oh, look, it's got a timestamp. Is that you? Oh, guilty. Bye-bye.
Pretty much.
So that's the cool thing about good minutes like that, audio and videos. I think it should be mandatory. Anybody in public service, I think them school board meetings need to be done that way. I think all of them, Round Mountain when they're having a meeting, because you can hold them accountable for that meeting that they had with those minutes, because that's why we keep minutes. That's the significance of minutes, is accountability. So you know who said it, when they said it, what they knew, when they knew, how they knew it, and what decision did they make in that time. Why did you make that decision knowing this stuff that the public didn't know, but you still made that decision? Wow, that's very interesting. Gotcha. So that's kind of with how this whole thing is unfolding. It's just a lot. And like you said, you really only need one thing. Just the courthouse debacle. If we had that investigated, just that alone, let's not overwhelm the DA. Let's have a prioritized amount of all the 800 malfeasances that I've got lined up. Let's just start off with the hot one. Yeah. Just like when Tommy went to the ethics. We had like 12 different things that he'd done that we wanted him crucified for. Ethics said, pick one. Pick one. We're only doing one.
Yeah, so I mean that's back to the sniper thing, right?
Pick one.
You need to shoot the general, not the soldier.
Yeah. So there again, the situation that we have over here is really just, maybe we don't have anybody to pick from. Maybe we are doing the best we really can. Maybe we're just absolutely at the pinnacle of the best we can. Maybe the school's there too. Maybe we don't have enough attraction to our little community to get somebody that would be adequate. We got lucky with 2 people.
I mean, that could be the case, but I don't think it's any better anywhere else.
Right. And I know in Florida, if you're going to be an elected official or serve in the public realm, you have to take an ethics class. You have to. It's mandatory. You got to pass it.
But and that's what.
So it goes without saying in most people's world.
To me, right? If you got to take the class, you're already out. If you got to try to learn how to be ethical, you got no business anywhere even close to me. Just saying.
So that's most of our thinking. So what do you do now? Now they're saying, well, we need to do a test. I don't know. It's just like they went up there to CCI. What is that? Colorado Counties Incorporated. So Lucas and Paul, they rode up there to Denver or wherever they went to the schooling.
Yeah, it's a mess, folks. So, I mean, tonight we didn't really come up with much for solutions. We got a hell of a lot of problems. So I guess with that being said, we probably whipped them enough for tonight. So we'll. So
there's a court thing going on tomorrow, and folks that know about it. And then there's also a Board of Custer County Commissioner meeting at the all aboard Westcliffe at 9 o'clock. Both of them kick off at 9. So if you guys want to dip your foot in the water, dip your toe in it, at least kind of show up and see kind of what's going on, it'd be handy. But here again, we'll see who shows up.
Yeah, I mean, and I honestly, I'm not saying that you shouldn't show up, but I know for me personally, there's nothing that I can do.
No, it's fine.
Otherwise, I would show up.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, it's just information is what it is.
It is. It is information. That's kind of what I'm getting at. You can't just start. You got to start somewhere and getting your toe wet and just kind of feeling it out, looking around, seeing, and doing your own stuff. I mean, look at it for real, for your own eyes. Don't get secondhand information. Go firsthand and look at the players, see who's talking, see who's doing what. That's what it's about. It's firsthand information.
Firsthand information. Heard it from the horse's mouth right here on Red County Blue Nation, folks. Good evening.
Yeah, and share and like, you guys, if you would. That'd help the channel a little bit. So appreciate you.
Right here on Red County Blue Nation.